This conference will now be recorded.
We're going to be talking tonight about DAV.org. Actually, that should be mydav.org. Department and chapter websites and va.gov. Why are we going to be talking about these three things? Basically, they're the basic building blocks for a veteran or a DAV member. Each portal opens up a whole new world of information for that veteran, and it's important that these our new members understand where they can get information, because a lot of times their commander or their adjutant is not around, or maybe they're not really aware of what the answer might be. These help to create better understandings of the DAV and the VA. MyDAV.org, what is it? Basically, it's a self-service report repository for members and member leaders. Who has access to this? Well, all DAV and auxiliary members, as well as DAV and auxiliary department, chapter, and unit officers have expanded role-based access. To get signed up for DAV.org, mydav.org, you have to fill out the registration. But when you first go to the website, you fill out the registration form, you create a username, and you create a password. Then once you submit that, you'll get a registration email that says, hey, we've got your document, we're working on it. We'll respond back in a couple days once you're set up. Then you'll get a notification that you're set up. Now you can go out to mydav.org and you can log in. And now you're in, and you can have access to the material that's available. First of all, let's go through these different items that are available. There's the member profile. So you can go in and you can set up a member profile. The importance to setting up this profile is that if things happen in the VA, maybe a law gets passed like the PACT Act, if your profile is set up appropriately, it might be possible for the DAV to actually notify you of an event that maybe you should be aware of in terms of your own personal health issues. Okay, we can do a full service record, so you can tell here again, you can tell them exactly what the theaters you were in and what your situation is, so that maybe down the road, if there's an opportunity, they can notify you if something becomes available. You can request your own membership card. If you lose your membership card, you can request another one. In the old days, of course, we used to go to our adjutant and he'd submit paperwork, but individuals can do that now themselves. You just fill out the membership card request and submit it. Membership transfer request. If you want to transfer to another chapter, you can fill out the request, but you have to realize that you cannot transfer to another chapter until they accept you. That's the only way you can go from one chapter to another, is to be accepted by the receiving chapter. But you can fill out the paperwork and have it prepared. You can update your username and password. You can have a DAV member payment history. So if you're a new member and you didn't pay 100% at the front end, this will keep track of your payment history. This is for your own information. It talks about how you paid, talks about what you paid and when. Notification of deceased. Normally the adjutant or the commander would fill out the notification of deceased, but you might have a situation, we just had it recently, where we had a member of our chapter. He'd only been a member for 2 months, but he had been a member of Vietnam Veterans Chapter 1. He was a founding member of that organization. Well, he passed away, and of course, nobody in our chapter really knew him that well because he'd only been in it 2 months. So if you're a member of our chapters, as well as a member of Vietnam Veterans Chapter 1, you could certainly fill out this form and send it in to National, as well as you would, at the time, I would also recommend you notify your commander and adjutant that you've done that. But any individual now can fill out a deceased notification. Report repository. Now this is a particular item where your level of functionality in the chapter determines what you can do here. So for example, there's a variety of reports that are available, much more expanded than what we're looking at right now. I'll show you an updated version later, but if you're the person in charge of membership, you will have access to population summary reports, membership listings, membership activity reports. We can go into each one of those, but basically if you were an officer in a chapter in a position for membership, you would have access to these particular reports. You can download, of course, the population summary report. We can go through that. And this will give you the report that normally we see on a regular basis in our chapter from our senior vice, or from we'll hear about this from our senior vice at the department level. Membership listing, that's a listing of all the people in your chapter. Historical population summary, you can go back and look at the past if you're interested to see what your population summary reports look like on various dates. Membership activity report. This is an interesting report that an adjutant probably would want to, at least when I was an adjutant, I would, at the beginning of the membership year, July 1st, I would download the membership listing for the chapter. And then every month I would download the activity report that would tell me if there was changes to members in the chapter, like if they had an address change, if they're deceased, or if they moved. And this also tells me new members that have come into the chapter, so I can make sure I send them a welcome letter and get them on my next meeting notification report. Okay, so what I want to do now is quickly go into mydav.org to give you a sample of currently. How am I going to do that? I don't know if I can. Okay, let me try. Wouldn't you think I could go in there on a different? That's too bad. Oh, that's okay. Let me hold off there till the end. Then let me go to the next. Are there any questions right now on mydav.org? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on here. The next thing I want to talk about is department and chapter websites. This is a new addition to what DAV is offering us. Basically allows us to improve communications throughout the entire organization. Not every department and not every chapter has a website. This does allow us to standardize website naming conventions across all departments, and basically allows us to provide a standard kind of interface and look from the way the website looks. It looks the same from chapter to chapter and department to department. It will eliminate undesirable web content and maybe undesirable web names. Provides a presence to departments and chapters who lack the resources. And what I like about both this and mydav.org is that these are windows into the larger DAV organization that gives you access almost immediately to what's on the national website. This is what, if you type in DAV website.dav.org, this is what you're going to come up with. And then you can actually select, if you go to the old website, it's going to redirect you here. But what I want to do here is This website also, well, hang on. I'm going to see if I can bring this up here. Um, let's see here. I'm going to try one more time to. Ann, are you still on? Fine chance?
Yes, sir.
What I'm trying to do is go out on the website now, but apparently I can't keep my because I'm using my browser for the webinar. I can't use it for. Would that be true?
You should be able to share a different screen.
How do I do that on the bottom?
So if you click stop sharing, or can you open a new tab on the top of your screen?
Um, that's my. You don't want that one. Well, maybe. No, that's my. Hang on, hang on. Sorry
I
about this.
interrupt a minute. Ann, do you have to let people in, or are they
No,
supposed to be? Because I got somebody they got a message saying have a great session, but that's as far as it goes.
no, anybody can get in.
Well, it isn't letting her in. She clicked on the link and then it says have a great session, and then it's locked up there.
Okay, hang on here.
Any ideas?
I don't. There's no sort of password or anything, so
All right.
Can anybody see my screen now?
You say you drag in.
yes, we can see your screen, John.
Okay, all right. Okay, actually, we've. Let me, if we can do this. Let me go to. Okay, here I'm live now, going into mydav.org. I'm going to log in. Oh, that's not me. One of the things I like about DAV.org and also the chapter and department website is if we can click on one of these buttons up here and we can go directly into the national website and member resources, and now we can click on the leader button, and this is all of the things that a chapter leader should be looking at. Obviously you can't look at all these things at once, but if you want to know what the member leader memos are that are coming from national in November, you can look and see these are all memos that came from national headquarters to the departments and chapters. Maybe not all the way down to the chapter level, but it at least went to the department level. And then the people at the chapter have a chance to look at this and see what's really happening at the national level. This is available at your fingertips once you go into DAV.org. So instead of having to go to the national website and hunt around, it's all right there. You go to membership, you go to resources, and now you can click on member leaders.
Okay, thank you.
All the information is right here. So a lot of times we go out and we talk to people in chapters and they feel like they don't really know what's happening, and maybe they don't, but this is a way that they can help themselves, and it's all right at their fingertips. Let's say here, events. Here's another important thing, events. It talks about when midwinter is. It talks about when the 2025 National Convention is, when it is, and where it is. And if you want to find out about the current or the 2024 National Convention, you click on this, and this will list all the presentations that we received at National, all the PDFs, all the videos. So you have access to that at the chapter level. These are things that maybe you'd want to share with your chapter at various meetings. These are available to you. They're available on the DAV website, but they're very easily available through mydav.org, and every member should be signed up with mydav.org. Are there any questions on mydav.org? Are there any questions on about the, I didn't do a very good job on the chapter and department websites. I'm in the process of developing my own, and I think maybe by next week, I know next week we're doing a PowerPoint on adjutant training, or webinar on adjutant training, but I'll have more on the chapter and department websites at that time. Are there any questions right now about chapter and department websites? Is anybody here using them already? Stan, you're nodding yes. Does that mean yes?
Well, I was muted, so it does, but too bad it's not always up to, that department always isn't up to date.
I did talk to National about that today. You're talking about some of the items that you can click on?
Well, I'm just talking about things that are department oriented, not necessarily from National.
Oh, are you talking about the the DAV Department of Wisconsin website?
Correct.
The one that we currently have that's provided by our service provider?
That one, yes.
Pardon?
Yes, that one.
Yes. Okay. Um, yes, we do. The department does have a website. We are looking at the capability of what DAV is offering us to see if this could be a replacement for what we're doing. There's no way that we're anywhere close to making that kind of a decision because we don't have the department website set up yet for what the DAV is offering us, that connection. So if we're trying to put together a better process for our own website to keep it current. I know we have a media committee that should be looking at it. I don't think we have a systematic approach right now. So that, for example, when we had the election, it took us a while to get a lot of the election stuff onto the website because, quite frankly, we didn't have a process set up, and we're working on that. It is important to have updated information. Any other questions?
Yeah, John, Larry, quick question for you. Once you go into the website information at the chapter level, does that pretty much just walk you through what all you need to do to get that established?
Are you talking about mydav.org, or are you talking about the?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you the mydav.org is very self-explanatory. It's an easy process to get set up. And then you can have it on your desktop and you just click on it and all of a sudden you're in.
Yeah, I've got mydav.org. I'm into that already. But establishing a website for the chapter.
Okay.
Does that pretty much walk you through that when you click on the website stuff?
When you click on that website, the first thing you want to do as a chapter is appoint a webmaster and download the document for webmaster training.
Got it.
And then it'll explain how you can upload pictures, how you can set up your calendar. So it's fairly well directed.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah, I haven't looked at that yet, but I will be.
Are there any other questions on that? If not, let me go to va.gov. It's important that every veteran be signed up with va.gov. whether they're receiving health care, whether they're receiving benefits, or whether they've got nothing going on right now, they should set up their account. Because by setting up their account, they make the VA understand who they are and where they are. So if things would develop in Washington in terms of expanded coverage or whatever, that gives the VA capability to directly notify people. Also, if you are receiving benefits or if you are receiving health care, this allows you to manage your health care and your benefits. So basically, you have to go out here to va.gov. If you're not signed up, you want to just press the create an account button. This allows you to go in, and so they do have like a special login process for security purposes. If you already have a login.gov or an ID.me account, you can go in immediately. If you don't have either, then you want to set one up. I have both. I usually use ID.me as I go forward. I very seldom use login.gov. I don't even know why I got it, but I've got it. So you just follow the process of selecting which of these you're going to use. Click on the button. It'll allow you to create. Here's where you would enter your email and your password to get you set up. Here's where you're going to enter your email and password again. This is how it works. Once you're set up and you want to enter va.gov, it's going to present this screen to you to verify your login. And what's going to happen is it's going to send you to your phone a password that you put into the system, and then all of a sudden you're in. So this is what your myva.gov page looks like. Here you have all of your claims and appeal information. Here you have all your health care. On the claims and appeal information, you can actually look at your claims. The VA, every time they send you a letter, it'll be in this portal, so you can look at it. You can look at the action of all of your claims to see where they're at. And it also gives you a calculator where you can calculate what your combined rating would be if you have multiple disabilities that you're being compensated for. It also talks about how easy it is to do your own claim. I would not recommend you do that. I would recommend you work with a DA claims person because they're trained. And why I think this is important, the VA talks about their 526 easy form. It's easy. It's 14 pages, 8 pages of instructions. And most people, when they use that form, they only fill out about 3 pages. So yes, it is easy if you know how to do it. So I would advise you to always work with somebody that's been trained to do it. Now, if you get down here to your health care, obviously it's going to tell you when your appointments are. It's going to help you refill or track your prescriptions. Now, I don't know, the VA keeps calling me now, and when my prescriptions are expiring and they're calling me to renew them right there on the spot. But you can look at all your prescriptions. You can request travel reimbursement. The VA is working on the travel reimbursement. I've actually had my travel reimbursements filled out automatically sometimes when they're using this new feature where they're texting you while you're in the waiting room and asking if you're there. If you say yes, they'll do your mileage for you. Also, all of your medical records are here, your lab reports, all your health care now, and all of your benefits are in one place. So every veteran, whether they're receiving health care or whether they're receiving compensation or they're just brand new out of the service, they should be setting up their portal because it'll make their life a lot easier long term. Are there any questions about the MyVA or the va.gov website? Is anybody still there? Yeah, good. This is my first time doing this, so I apologize for the for this rough start here. But are there any questions on what we've talked about tonight? Is anybody here not using mydav.org? Are you not using it, or everybody's using it? Looks like everybody's using it. Is anybody not using va.gov? Oh, everybody. Pardon? Stan?
And I'm not using it.
You're not?
Nope.
Is there any reason where you wouldn't start using it?
Well, once upon a time they had another, I forget what it was called, but it didn't have any information past October of 1990, and I retired in April, so none of my information was there. So I just, why? You know,
You ought to try again. They have been doing a lot of work on it. So it benefits you long term.
yeah.
It's quick access to find things out. So I would recommend that you at least look at it again.
I'll look at it, yeah.
Not that it's perfect, but I think they've come a long ways. The nice thing is it's all in one spot now, your benefits and your health care for people that are in that situation.
Your pay's there too. It
Your
gives a
pay?
background of your pay.
Yes, that's true. I didn't
Matter
show
of
you
fact,
the
they
whole.
already got the new rate already out.
Oh, really? Did you get a raise?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody did.
No, I know.
It's got a benefit.
So the nice thing is it provides all your health care and your health care and your benefit sides are all together in one spot, which they weren't before. Any other questions or comments? Kayla? Any comments, questions?
No, I use va.gov all the time.
Oh,
I
good.
use my DAV. I got to contact headquarters via phone. For some reason, I went on the website, created a password and everything for DAV.org. I got my approval. I went on the website to go into my account, and they keep telling me that my information's incorrect, and it's I know I got to take care of that. But va.org, in fact, I'm logging in right now. My account. But yeah, I even use va.gov for messaging my providers,
Sure.
looking at lab results,
Yep.
confirming appointments, all that fun stuff. So
Yeah, I think they've done a good job. They've been working on it for quite a few years, and they're continuing to work on it in terms of the reimbursement side of the house too. But now if you're constantly getting, at least I'm getting constantly inundated with text messages about my upcoming appointment. I got an appointment, I got to confirm it, then I got to do my whatever you do to verify your name and address and everything. If you have 3 or 4 appointments in 1 week, it drives you nuts, but they are getting better.
I can't stand that.
Yeah. Any other comments?
No.
Appreciate you doing this, John.
The big thing I want to make people aware of, and I can't seem to show it very well right now, I got to figure out how to do that, is once you're in mydav.org, you can immediately pop out and go to the national website and find information very quickly, which makes that website a host of information for any brand new member or any chapter officer in any position. The information is immediately available, and I think you don't have to search the website to get it. You go into your portal and it's there, as well as all the access to your particular information or your chapter's information if you're an officer with access. If there are no questions, then this will be that's all I have for tonight. Next week we have Go
John,
ahead.
I'm trying to use it. I had my hand up,
Oh,
but you didn't see it. But a couple of questions, and I actually, as you were talking, I found them. I found a chat room just as on a side or uh, for the departments and chapter websites. Uh, I want to make sure I got it right. It's DAV website singular dot DAV dot org. Is that correct?
hang on. We'll get it right up here. Okay. Get the right one here. It's a DAV websites plural .dav.org.
Just a suggestion for somebody like me that I had to ask that question. I do know some of the websites I'm on. Put it in the chat room. That way you can copy it
Okay.
and you'll know exactly what it is. Something to keep in mind. Might want to do that in the future.
Sure.
Have somebody assisting you who would put it in there. Uh, Also, there's a note in the chat room, which I did find right before I talked to you about to Stan. So Stan, you might want to go into the chat room if you haven't. Uh, it's a note from Ann about the website. So a couple other comments. I have not used va.gov yet. I'm going to have to set an account up. What I've been using is my Healthy Vet, which is going to, I'll no longer be able to get into it after January 31st. The current way it's set up, I'll have to use va.gov. So if I got some problems, John, you'll be getting a phone call from me.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically, Al, right now, when you go into va.gov and you select the health part of it, it's sending you to My Healthy Vet. That's where it's sending
right.
you, right? This is just a different access to it. But then
Yeah,
it is starting to reform that website as well. But
well,
basically,
it's
right.
kind of old age setting in. I'm very set in my ways. It's hard for me to change, but I know I have to do it. But I don't know if I'm the only one that was still using my healthy vet. But after January 31st, you're not going to be able to use it anymore.
Right,
So
right.
we'll all have to use va.gov. And I think that's it at the moment. And nice job. I think it was very nice that you did this. Also, I see a couple new people on here that we got the usual regulars. I think we got 9 of us, but uh, we got Kayla from what is it, 44, and then there's somebody who I don't know if I've met or not, but I don't know. I hopefully I'll say the name right. Is it Dennis
Yeah, Dennis
Scalo?
from 5.
Okay, all right. No, it's very nice to see new people on here. It's refreshing. Anyways, nice job.
Well, that's all I
Okay,
have. Unless there's any other questions, and next week we'll have a program on adjutant training, which I'm sure that I'll have a lot of help with that.
What day is that going to be? We're going to have more than one
Wednesday.
day's notice?
Wednesday. Matter of fact, you were notified in the newsletter what days they were going to be. If you're interested, they're on Wednesdays.
Okay.
This week, next Wednesday, and the following Wednesday,
Same time?
same time, 6 o'clock, and then you'll be sent the day of the event. You'll be sent the access information from Green Bay.
Okay.
So, but just have it on your schedule for 6 o'clock on Wednesday, 6 to 7, or
John,
let.
I'm going to miss that next week.
Okay.
I'll be out of
Well,
town.
we're debating, at least I'm debating, if I should have more webinars, maybe monthly throughout the year. Don't know yet. We're going to try to get some feedback from people and see what they think.
Okay.
Are we going to put this on our state page so people can go into them?
I'll have to ask Ann if this is going to be available. We're recording it, so I'm assuming that this is for posterity. Well, I'll find out, and I'll get back to you, Jake, on that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
because I think that'd be good for some people that miss this, that they could at least get onto that
Okay.
and get caught up.
Anything else from anybody? If not, I appreciate you being here tonight. Maybe I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for your comments. We're going to try to make it better as we go forward.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, John.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
Night.
Good night.